What framework do we place our children in? What is school like? Is it clean, bright and airy, or the opposite? Is there enough room for the pupils? Does the teacher have enough space to do more activities at the same time? Are the rooms too hot to facilitate learning? Is the physical layout a hindrance for well-being, caring and challenging? How does it look in your school?
It was regarded as a progress of civilizing efforts in the 19th century when they went from torturing people in pillories, tearing off their hands, to robbing them of their freedom. They even laid out the prisons so as not just to punish and monitor, but also reform the prisoners. They were called houses of reformation. The idea was to make a pedagogic effort. They wanted to reform people and give them a chance to live a life without crime. In that sense, prison is also a school. The question is whether school is also a prison. Many children remember their school as a prison that took away their freedom and gave them nothing in return. Danish contemporary schools are based on outdated learning ideals. You sit in a class, much like you sit in church, and that's not negotiable. The rooms are often small, 45 to 50 square meters for 28 children. It doesn't fit with modern learning. Other options should be available. Around 70% of Danish schools are not laid out in a way suitable for the kind of learning you need today. They're based on ideas and norms that were valid 100 years ago, and many of the schools themselves are 100 years old. In order to differentiate the teaching, you must be allowed to split up a class in smaller groups. If you think you can teach anything at all to someone sitting still for 50 minutes, you're mistaken. Adults have a hard time with that, and with children, it's impossible. We need variation. If we look at how children perceive the framework of their school in regard to architecture and indoor climate, children aren't particularly conscious of it. They don't complain about it like adults do in workplaces. They didn't choose their own school. They were simply placed there. But at some point, they sense that they get tired when it's too hot and stuffy. We improved the indoor climate in some 4th and 6th grade classes. We increased ventilation and lowered the temperature from 25 degrees to 22 degrees. Those were the only changes we made. The result was very interesting. In some tests, performance improved by 15% when the indoor climate improved. There is no doubt that if we get a handle on this, our children will become much more motivated and hopefully learn more during the time they spend in school. This would, sooner or later, benefit all of us.